Hi folks, hope you're doing well. Just a quick video. I've just done the last video I did is going on 9 now. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, just on that one, the word radical was used. Well, being radically of God. Yeah. Yeah. People have been so careful, so careful to be unradical or the less radical as they can be, basically, to not scare people. Yeah, that's not radical. No. Well, look, Bible bashing isn't radical Christianity. It isn't. It never was. Bible bashing is stupidity. People that haven't got a clue about, how to evangelize. Young people who have, not even older people, but young Christians who have just come into God, who are full of excitement, and they're not being taught. So they go out and they abuse people with the Bible, basically. Yeah, that's not extreme Christianity. That's not extreme, Son of God or anything. That's, Well, part of the reason why people are concerned about the word radical is because obviously you've got your radical believers, where you have cults and you have Muslim extremists who bomb the crap out of people. Yeah. The problem is, a radical Muslim, you have to look at the Muslim belief to understand what a radical Muslim would look like and why a radical Muslim is wanting to kill people. It's to do with the belief. To do with a belief that was created by the devil as his answer to, challenging the work of God, what God was doing. One of his answers. But his answer in that area of the world. Basically having a word that says, you can kill people. You can. Who refuse to convert to Islam. Yeah, okay. No. No. No, I mean, is a Muslim belief any worse than, Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons or any of that sort of stuff? No. Or even the Baptist Church or Methodist Church or United Reformed or Evangelical or any of that? No, it isn't actually any worse. I mean, to a certain degree, it's ended a lot of people's lives where they've gone to meet their Maker sooner, but that could be sparing them from a lot of suffering, maybe. If you want to see it in that way, you can see it as a positive as well as a negative if you choose to. Yeah, leading people away from God is what most of the beliefs have been doing for a long time and doing a very good job of it. So therefore, is one belief worse than the other? No. Most Muslims aren't radical. So most Muslims are just as ill-informed and untaught and led away from God as Baptists and Pentecostals and all the rest. Yeah. If you're talking about radical with regards to God and radical in your relationship with God, then what is the nature of God? If you're radical in that way, you become more like God in the way you do things. More graceful, more merciful, more loving, more caring, more compassionate. Less judging. That's what radical is. From a Christian point of view, from a... Well, you can say Christian if you want. But that's what radical would look like. It'd be an extreme of, what people in church do. But an extreme in a more loving, more graceful, more merciful area. It would be a church that behaves just like Father towards people. A church that doesn't see sin. Why? Because your Father in heaven doesn't see your sin, so therefore should you see other people's sin? No. So therefore, if you're radical, you don't focus in any way, shape or form on the person's sin. Because that's not your job to do that. Your job is to be a blessing in whatever way you can be a blessing to that person. That is your job. Now, to be a blessing to someone, yeah, at the moment, yeah, are we tapping into that? No. Have I tapped into that in any way, shape or form? No, I haven't, because you need resources to be able to do that. You do. You need spiritual resources. You need financial resources. Yeah, you need all of that to be able to, really be a blessing to people. Yes. But at the moment, even if it's just a kind word, or that doesn't mean only saying things that encourage them. So sometimes you've got to say things that you know could offend someone. And that's your way of blessing them. Speaking truth in a situation. Even if you know that the majority of people that hear that will be offended, there might be one or two people that won't and might actually take that and grow from that. That's being a blessing. Because there are a lot of people you can't bless. That's the reality. There are a lot of people that you won't be blessing because they can't be blessed. Not really, because the way that they want to be blessed is of a different kingdom. And it's not your job to bless people in that way. So, yeah. So at the moment, part of the problem that we have is the way we're supposed to be blessing people isn't a way that we necessarily know as of yet. So it makes it difficult. But we will know. That's the point. We will know, because the more people who become radical and the more people that we're tapping into that, and the more that will be readily available, and the more that will be noticeable. Because at the moment, yeah, it is a case, I've said before, we need help. We do. Oh, we certainly do indeed. We need help. Yeah. Yeah. But understanding that an extreme Christian, what that means is that you'll be more like Christ. Christ was not a bomber. Christ wasn't out to kill people. He wasn't full of hate. So the word radical is nothing to be scared of. The word extreme is nothing to be scared of. Because sometimes you see someone who is extremely lovely. Would it be wrong to say that person is extremely lovely? No. Extreme fits. You have extreme kindness. Well, would that be wrong to say it to someone? No. It's all down to context, isn't it? But as I say, if you're talking about a belief that sees it as a good thing, to wipe out the Jews, that is a common understanding in that belief, you know that that is not of God in any way, shape or form. Yeah? You know that it's hate. And so therefore an extreme of that is going to be a lot more hate. Therefore it's going to be people strapping bombs to themselves and going out in busy areas to blow up as many people as they can. That is what extreme hate looks like. So, what would extreme love look like? If that's what extreme hate looks like, you want to understand who we should be? There's your answer. We should be extreme love. In all that entails. Now, as I say, in all that entails, when a parent loves a child, that parent will correct that child. That parent will tell that child when they're wrong. Not like today, when so many parents think that their job is to be their child's best friend. That's not love. I don't know what the heck that is, but it isn't love. Love means that you want to help people to be on the right course for themselves, because it's better for them. So, will you speak truth that sometimes means that loving that person may mean that you lose that person in your life? That person may, at least for a time, be offended by what you've done and walk away from you. That's love. In church, that would be considered as hate. Why? Because church are not of God at the moment. So doing something that causes somebody to block you, to cancel you, that sort of thing, in church, what you did is nasty. What they did is good. But what you did is love, or can be. Now, that doesn't mean that sometimes we don't do things that are wrong, and that people will cancel us and block us for us doing something wrong. But that doesn't mean the way they're doing things is correct, even if what we've done is wrong. But more than often, if you do something that's purely in love, but you say something that is corrective, that would be taken as offensive, that would be taken as wrong, and But be a God pleaser. Be someone who's looking to please God rather than looking to please people. You cannot go wrong. Because even when you go wrong, God knows that your motive is correct. God knows that you are trying to do what is right by Him. And like any father, when they see a son, trying to do what's right by the father, but getting it wrong, God will help you. That's what any good father will do. He will help you to turn that wrong into right. And just a tiny adjustment will be needed. Because your motive is there, but what you're doing might not necessarily be quite as you should be. Tiny adjustment, and you're right. So, don't be afraid of extreme. Don't be afraid of the word of it. Be afraid of not being extreme. Because you are called to be extreme. Anyone who thinks that being Christ-like wouldn't look extreme in the times that we have now, or in any time in history, you need to read the Bible. I don't know what you see Christ as, but Christ was very extreme when He was alive, and would be even more extreme now. There you go. I'm going to leave it to it. I'm going to take Bambini for a walk. You take care, God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Be blessed, be a blessing, and pray about it. Don't just believe it because I'm saying. Pray about it. Seek God. Be blessed. Speak to you soon. Bye.